I don't trust words. I even question actions. But I never doubt a person's patterns. Patterns are always going to tell you a person's truth. The words are going to tell you what they want you to believe, maybe even what they convinced themselves of. So like, that's why you hear people talk about themselves and they sound so passionate, so confident. Give it some time and all of that was a lie. You'd be like, man, that's such a good narcissist, such a good manipulator, because they manipulated themselves into believing it. But anytime you're dealing with a dude, give it some time. Your patience is going to be the lie detector test. Because it's your patience that's going to allow the patterns to reveal themselves. I always ask, do you believe in love at first sight? Yeah, but I don't believe in safety at first sight. This is why I never try to encourage women to look for a man's best foot forward in the dating phase. You can expect it because it's natural. Don't look for a man's best foot to be put forward. You want to look for a man's consistent foot to be put forward. Like, what will you do? Not what can you do, but what will you do over the long term? What will you do whenever we're not on good terms? What will you do when the money is low? What will you do when I'm not in a good place? When I'm not my best self? What will you do when I'm wrong? And you need to hold me accountable. How will you do that? What will you do? Not what can you do? What can you fathom? What have you seen on TV? What do you think is going to impress me? But what will you do on a regular basis? Of course, as a woman, I understand you want to have a good time. But please be careful about that whole expecting a man to put his best foot forward. And if he don't, then he don't deserve you, and X, Y, Z in the third. There are a lot of guys, they know conceptually exactly what will put a smile on your face, get you to brag to your homegirls, get you to think that this man right here must be the one because he's doing something so different. But if you know, like I know, all the great stuff in the world don't really matter if you can't trust it. If you don't feel safe with what else is going to come with that. I want to make that clear. It's not about what a man can do. This is where that concept of love bombing comes from, because it's like, oh, he did all of this great stuff, but he ended up being a bad person. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Yeah, there's love bombing and narcissists, manipulators and stuff like that, but then there's this concept that that's what we're supposed to do, and that's what a woman is supposed to look for and reward in a man. I want to encourage everybody listening to this, if you want to stop getting played or feeling regret, like you just ignored all the red flags or he was just so good at pretending, stop looking at men who put their quote unquote best foot forward and do stuff and introduce you to an energy that they cannot maintain. You see that man is dating you, but he's way out of his budget. He's spending $300-400 on a date. And he got a car that's 20 years old. He's staying in a nice little apartment in the hood, and he trying to keep costs low in every part of his life, but he over here splurging on you. He might really care about you, but he can't keep that up. And what happens when a man can't keep something up that he thinks is supposed to impress you, but maybe you do, maybe you don't, is he'll start resenting you. And the same thing goes for if the man is trying to get back in your life. He trying to get back in your life by doing all this grandiose stuff. What were his patterns? You see, sometimes whenever you get hurt, those emotions are going to come forth and they're going to make it difficult for you to understand what's right and wrong, because they just want to be soothed again. They just want to be comfortable and feel good again. One way you can navigate when those emotions are all over the place and you don't know what to believe, look at his patterns. Baby, I'll never do you like that again. But if he was doing the exact same thing the entire relationship, he going to do it again. I'm not one of those people that believe a man can't change, a man can't improve, a man can't evolve. What I am saying is, if he's truly going to not do something, there's going to be a space where he has to now establish a whole new pattern of how he responds to whatever that motivation was when he first did it or whenever he last did it. There has to be a whole new pattern established. And no pattern gets established just 100% clean, consistent. Nothing. There's good and bad. There's trial and error. There's pass and fail as you establish any habit in your life. Just imagine the pattern of going to the gym. Before you were going to the gym every single day or every single week, you missed a week or two. You missed a month or two. You started, then stopped, and then you eventually got it right. You never want to be a part of a man's learning curve for things that could damage you forever. Ever. I was talking to a sister. Y'all know I did the live training, right? How to never prepare a man for the next one, because a lot of times these guys come and they play like they dumb and they know all the well what to do in a relationship, what not to do, et cetera, and they just using you as a bridge towards the woman that they really want. But in the meantime, you feel good, you're comfortable, they can enjoy you, they can leverage your desire to resolve conflict and make things work until they get what they really want. Anyway, oh, by the way, let me put that link because I really want to go off here. The link I'm posting right now gets you to that free training, by the way. Back to what I was saying. The sister asked me afterwards, how should she handle the man that she wants, but he did some nonsense that's really thrown her off, but she wants him, nobody else, doesn't want to start over. How should she handle it going forward? Essentially, he broke her heart, right? But she already can see somewhat beyond the broken heart and recognize that this is the guy that she wants. And I said, okay, cool. Tell me what it is about this man that's been so great. And have you seen anything about this man that was reminiscent of whatever he did to break your heart? Like, has this been something that was consistent? Was this a one-time thing? Was it, never ever before in this one situation there was drugs involved, drinking involved, or extreme grief involved, or something that would just pull somebody out of character? Because I think as humans, we're all capable of getting out of character. Was this out of character, or was this a hidden part of his character that you never knew about? So essentially, what she told me was this was nothing new, right? And I said, well, sis, here's the thing. You know it's nothing new, but you're trying to follow your heart because this is the man that currently has it. But what good is a heart that can't beat? He the only one that got my heart. What good is a heart that you can't use? And more specifically, what good is it to have this man that you want, but he's also bringing you to a version of yourself where you can't enjoy him, love him, or yourself? I get that he does the right things on a date. I get that he got a little money on him. I get that he looks good and there's been time spent with this man. However, if the impact on you is going to bring you to a point where you can't, it's kind of like the food can be good, but if it's so hot that it's scalded your taste buds, you can't enjoy the good food. I'm not even trying to just, say the man is all bad because he did something that was really messed up. No doubt about it. People have their struggles, their demons to fight. He may be an otherwise decent human being, but in this particular way, he's going to ruin your ability to receive him or anybody else. So it don't do you no good. How can you be so sure, Derek? How can you be, them emotions, it really have you fighting the truth. It really have you clinging on to denial, because denial feel a lot better than a harsh truth, than a harsh reality. As I said, look at his patterns. What he did was the epitome of disrespect to you, but he's been disrespecting you since day one. He mandated that those doors remain open that he eventually walked through since day one. That's not new to him. That's not a new program. That's just another level of the same program that eventually hurt you. He knew what would keep your heart safe from day one. And he flirted with danger for you rather, since day one. He knew. These are patterns we're talking about. But yeah, he's now done this and he's done that. To prove to me, and he's apologized online, and all of those things are what's out of character. Not the bad stuff. The bad stuff was in character. Now, can he do better? Can he eventually learn better? Can he blah, blah, blah? Absolutely. But he's going to have to establish a completely new pattern, something that's unfamiliar to him. And you can't emotionally afford to be a part of that learning curve. But he really, really said that he was sorry, and he said it and he meant it because he was crying. Y'all, when the man is apologizing to you, them tears might come from a whole different place. They don't come from remorse or changed behavior. Believe it or not, a man's tears whenever he's apologizing to you can strictly come from the feeling of being stupid. A man can feel stupid and cry. Tears of stupidity. I just want to keep it real with you. He was so sincere. He cried whenever he apologized. Yeah, he felt dumb. Especially if you're beautiful. Especially if he knows any man with good sense, common sense, is going to want you, is going to put, the best he can in the game to try to get you. He's afraid. Those ain't tears of remorse and repentance. Those are tears of fear, of being haunted by the thought of another man doing to you what he was doing to that other woman. Y'all ever seen a movie or whenever you was a kid or something like that, you just was fearful? You was fearful, or whatever. The kid was fearful, or the movie, the people in the movie was fearful because something was happening. Like, fear can bring tears. Y'all been thinking something so sincere? Oh gosh, he cried for the first time. He's never cried like that because he ain't never been so scared. And the thought of another man folding you up like a lawn chair is scary. The thought of losing you for good. When we got so comfortable with that access to you, it's scary. Does that mean repentance and remorse and change behavior? No. He's scared. All my parents, all my old school parents out there that believe in corporal punishment, all y'all that got whoopings when you was little, remember when we was scared of that belt? We cried, right? We ain't even got whooped. We ain't even got the whooping yet, but just out of fear, we crying. That man know the thought of you getting folded up by the next man and loved on correctly by a man that truly loves you and ain't messing up. Oh yeah, that's like a belt. That's like a belt to a child. So don't confuse intense emotion with genuine repentance and sincere remorse. Like, no, that is the onset of regret that brings those tears. And that's what I'm saying. Like, actions, look, we don't trust words, right? Not if they're not backed up by nothing. Words, yes, is a front end thing because, first meeting you, first day, he can't have all these actions and patterns, but that's why you give it time, right? And then the actions can also be very deceptive because that one-off little ability that he's putting on display don't mean nothing if he's not going to carry that through consistently. It's the patterns that tell a person's truth. It's nice if somebody plays a sport and they can hit a circus shot from the other end of the court, but can they do that consistently? No. If not, you're going to lose the game. Somebody get in there and hit one good shot. You don't keep passing them the ball and they just missing. No, that pattern is what you could believe in. And that's why I'm all about pacing things, taking your time. What do his patterns say? You're not sure because the last guy hurt you and you got trust issues and you're not sure if you can trust yourself to believe in a man or choose the right man. What do his patterns say? What has he consistently done? He dogged 10 girls out in a row. Ain't had a single relationship where he was completely honest. You think he about to just ditch that pattern because you so special. I want better for y'all. Because I see women who are willing to see the best in a man. And I want to right now say, stop seeing the best in a man. See his reality. See the truth in a man. But the women that see the best in a man, a lot of times y'all are empaths. Y'all are the ones who get caught in that web the most. You get caught in that web the most. Because you see the way that he's hurt and all that kind of stuff. And then you see the good that he could do. And you just believe that if you were to put your love in his life, it would cultivate the version of him that would show up like that consistently. It don't work like that. And what happens is your love begins to be the bridge for that man to the woman that he wants. You hold it down, that man come up financially, economically. He's more informed or educated or intelligent. He knows how to hold a better conversation. He knows how to stay in touch with your emotions. Not that he ever delivered on those things for you, but you taught him. Why? Because you were so big on resolving conflict and giving him all of these thesis statements and teachings about what you needed. Whole time he was taking mental note. You thought he just didn't get it. He did. And then he gave it to another woman. I'm not saying that to be grim. Like the same way I'm going to give my brothers the harsh truth, I'm going to give my sisters the harsh truth too. But a beautiful part of all of that is you ain't got to be that woman. Because there is the woman that prepares a man for another woman. And then there's the woman that a man knows he must come prepared for. Day one. From the questions that you ask to the conversations that you have with him, to the position that you're in life, to the qualities that he's able to access about you and when, there's a way to position yourself as the woman that a man knows he must come prepared for. These men that are ready to waste their time will literally leave you alone. Most of them anyway. And for those that won't, you should be able to have the tools to spot them and avoid them, not fix, not work with, not endure, not match energy, but avoid. That's a little bit much to go in here. If you want more on that conversation, click the link that you see pinned down here in the comments. That'll take you to my masterclass where I broke that down. How to be the woman that a man must come prepared for. The name of the training is Never Prepare a Man for the Next Woman. But essentially, those of y'all who have seen your exes or this guy, that guy, just magically understand all of the things that you needed him to be and do, and all this emotional intelligence just found him whenever he left you. Or if you've ever seen that happen and you don't want it to happen to you, you need this free training. And it's, again, free. So, moral of the story is this. Don't trust words. Actions can even lie. They can be deceptive. They can mislead you. But a man's patterns are always going to tell his truth. Forget what his words say. What has his consistency displayed? That's the only question you need to answer. And that's going to tell you everything you need to know about whether or not your heart is going to be safe in that man's care. If you agree, hit the share button. We need more truth spread amongst all of this misinformation and messed up stuff that got us battling each other and pit on one side or the other and this war of genders. Like, look, I don't ask for money, but if you agree with what I said or you found truth in it, I do ask that you hit the share button so somebody else can get blessed by this on your timeline. And if you want more free content like this, much deeper dive though, especially on how to not be the woman that's preparing a man for the next woman, not being a man's training camp for somebody else, the link is down here. I just pinned it down in the comment section. It's also in the caption when you back out. Hit that link, get access, watch that tonight. We're doing a Q&A right after. All right, the link is pinned down.